Debbie, I was under the impression that Shane Jones was the saviour of the Reo and all of that.
It's really interesting because
it certainly sounds like he was the spokesperson for all Māori everywhere the other day.
Well, he didn't get a single Māori mandate.
Have I been misled?
I think he's got whakapapa ears, no doubt. I mean, in his day, he was even. I'm sure he was part of Tamatoa, one of the activism groups in his day. I don't know what went wrong between now and in his eve, but the reality is that there's lots of people with whakapapa in other parties, but they're not in parties that have the best of Māori in their hearts. And the other side of it, they're all representing parties that are way past where Māori proportionally are in age. 70% of our population under 40. None of them are following there. So he no doubt talks for his own whānau, but he didn't stand in a Māori seat. He hasn't got a large proportion of Māori. And when you look at it, he sort of keeps saying, "Oh, you Māoris, you only got 3-4%." I think, well, we're only targeting 20% of the population. You've got 80% of the population. What did you achieve?
That's
I don't. He doesn't speak for Māori. He doesn't speak for the proportion of population that we have. And if I look at my socials, he definitely doesn't have a large following in Māori, despite having an effort on TikTok, which is really tragic. Once you see it, you can't unsee it.
I just have to say for myself that the Pāti Māori's results in the election, and especially that demonstration that, as you mentioned, you pulled together so quickly, has been a bright spot for me in this election. It's great to have what I see, like authenticity just rings through when you see it in people. And
do you mean fresh? Are we being too fresh?
Look, the we have about Te Pāti Māori drip in the chat is constant. But yeah, like we were saying last night with the opening of the house, is that you can take shots of the military brass bands and the pomp and just the traditions of a Westminster style government, and then you get the New Zealand input, the Māori input into it, and you go, cool, now I know what country we're in. It's just good. Just keep doing what you're doing. It's not just Māori that are behind you. It's people that recognise that we are the New Zealand of the 1950s.
That's right. And our tangata tiriti, you know what? Our allies everywhere. I mean, I looked at one particular town and I was sort of like going, I couldn't see my cousins, but I could see all my mother's cousins. I think, where are you? Oh, one goes, I stepped in fire. Like, what? But our tangata tiriti who turn up, who get it, and who really are blessed. We love each other. I'm lucky because I'm my mother's Irish, my father's I'm comfortable in my tiriti bones. But the reality is, some haven't got that, and they are still supporting, giving their lane to us. It's just amazing. I sort of genuinely do feel sad that there is a population that is represented in these parties that make up government that don't get that richness. And I think, your life must be so sad, so boring. Like, I was at something this morning and everyone was talking. So it was a Rarotongan, it was English, it was actually Nuan and Māori, all saying the same thing about this government and what we need to do together. It was beautiful. So, like I said yesterday, I thank the government for their complete nuttiness and hatred, because that's what brings us together. That's what brings us together, so...